again. Back to the vlogs. You know how it goes. Yo, what is this? You're interrupting me. Come on. Really? That's why you gotta do me like that. Alright, whatever. Anyway, what's good? What's poppin'? Where it at? Where it be? You know the deal. We have to figure something out here. I like it. I like the new look. Not really new look. I mean, all I did was just remove everything that was in the back, as I mentioned in my previous video. But I guess this is gonna be more of a detailed walkthrough per se. I mean, I guess this will be like the first vlog of the unit itself. I'll go into detail as to my plans with the Z, my plans with the bike, and just show around a little bit here and there. But first, let me grab my drink. Beautiful. So, where do we start? Let me remove this bike. I think I might have to find a different position here. Just so it could be a little easier for me to get around through the sides, because honestly, I walk a lot more through this side than through the left for two reasons. The scooter's already here, it's already taking up space. And two, this door doesn't open, and it won't be opening until I replace the latch. I'm not really sure what happened. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was working properly ever since I parked it, the door, but it was against a wall for a solid year and a half. I'm not sure, who knows? I don't think anybody tampered with it or tried to mess around with it. I do know some people did try to open up the driver door, and all they managed to do was just break the clip. Anything, I'm about to remove this bike over here. Just give me 1 second. All right, so there's that. Got the bike out here. I'm not gonna put it on the stand, and I don't really need to, because honestly, I think I might go out soon for a quick ride, a quick vlog maybe. You know, it's looking beautiful out, so I don't see why not. Let me move all these things out of the way. It's my work laptop. Honestly, that's all I really do with this. I'm thankful I have it. My father gave it to me for my birthday. Shout out to him. And actually, I'll show you guys around after, you know, what I have here, the inventory per se of my recording tools, stuff like that. I have a 4 session, and I'll get into that all later. Let's just get this out of the way. Now, regarding this bad bitch over here, this thing right here, I blew this engine about a year and a half ago. It wasn't the biggest deal. It was honestly probably like the smoothest engine that broke on me ever. I mean, I've had my Accord, I had a 97 Accord, the engine blew, the piston just shot right through, it sounded terrible. But this one, it did show, it shot a hole through the side, yes, but not on this. This, everything here is, well, it's not new, it's new to you, but the bottom block was my buddy's. He gave me so I could replace it, and I replaced it. I put this new block my buddy gave me, like I said, shout out to Tommy, and I had to redo the timing, I had to redo all those things, I had to put everything back together myself. I did have the engine hoist, I didn't have the engine stand, so I couldn't really work on it at a decent level where I won't have to be, you know, breaking my back, bending over all the time. But that's what happened with that thing. Now, plans for this, I did the timing, I did it completely wrong, so I want to remove this engine. I'll be doing maybe a series on that, inspecting the engine, really seeing what went wrong. I want to see why there was no compression. I don't know if the timing was that off, but if the timing was off, I figured I may have bent some valves. There are those possibilities. I'm not entirely sure. That's why we're gonna check. So stay tuned, stick with the channel, and I'll show you guys that. As far as the body work, it's solid. It maybe has a couple of dings here and there, but those probably were while I had it and while it was just sitting. There's a ding, little ding right there, another one right here. Paint job, solid, what, 5, 6 out of 10. It's not the craziest. The top, it's pretty bad. It's really rough, but the sides, solid, pretty great. This right here is the radiator for this car. Also been sitting outside for the longest, collecting dirt, dust, all the above, spiders. In here, it's a stick shift. I did forget to mention that. Manual trans gang, save the trannies. But yeah, solid interior. It's been holding up great, to be honest. It did have a leak, but that's only because it does have a sunroof. Now, I'm not sure if that sunroof was custom made, but like, I haven't found any other Z's with sunroofs, so whatever. Whoever made it though, you suck. It's leaking. My passenger side is like soaked on rainy days. Of course, not anymore, because we're under a nice roof here. But it was leaking, and honestly, this whole time, it was covered. I did forget. I did cover it with a blue tarp. It started falling apart every once in a while. Sometimes I would just find it falling off the car, and maybe sometimes those were rainy days and it would leak. It wasn't the craziest leak, but you can tell that it has like a little gap that's just opening up right here. Other than that, I love this car. It's an amazing car. I want to keep it. You know, if I'm able to still salvage this engine, I will, and it will save me money to possibly boost it, supercharge. I'm not too sure, but we'll figure that out once I actually get it running, if I get it running. And if I don't, we do have some options out there. I mean, it's 2020. A lot of people have already done these things, and it just makes it easier for the people who are doing it now, like me. So 2Js, V8s, RBs, you never know. Now here, this is the main event. This is the main bitch right here. U34. This right here. I love this bike. I've had a Cowie before. I've only had one bike before this, another 600, and it was a 636 black one. Solid bike. I loved it too. Second gear didn't really work though, so my wheelies, I had to learn them in third gear. That is a pretty difficult task. Other than that, this bike is amazing. But this bike right here, solid. Everything works fine. Tranny, solid. Engine, solid. Suspension, solid. Except for those fork seals, but that's not suspension's fault. That's lack of maintenance. If anything, I might do a Street Fighter style project. I think I might get a roll cage, stuff like that. Maybe some frame sliders. This thing has tipped over on me one too many times. I haven't fallen off of it. I haven't fallen on the bike yet. And you know, I'm super thankful for that. I'm not bragging. But this bike has gone through hell by just standing in place. Or whenever I was delivering it here, it flipped over. There was a whole bunch of fuel everywhere. It was a whole hot mess. Let's give it a quick little turn on here. You guys already heard it though. 07 CBR 600RR. Next stunt build, probably do a series on that. I'm not too sure. I have to figure out what I'm going to start with first. Of course, I am going to be doing the vlogs, but as far as making changes, it's really just going to be on the Z. As far as removing the engine, stuff like that, it's going to be a whole lot easier for me and less costly. I'm not saying I'm not going to spend on any of these things, and I understand these things are going to cost money, but I like to do things a smart way, and I also have to take care of things that are outside of the YouTube world. So we'll see.